So in my previous video, I discussed some YouTubers with controversial opinions and the other YouTubers who hate them. Onision has released another video regarding the takedown of Evalion's channel.
A short while back, I made a video called Evalion Must Be Stopped, and apparently we have stopped Evalion. As you guys have repeatedly informed me on Twitter, he's been shut down.
Fellow seems rather proud of himself, doesn't he? It's almost like this is all about him looking like a good person or something.
Let's be clear about freedom of speech, okay? A lot of you seem to believe that YouTube is the United States government. Obviously, YouTube is not the United States or the United States government. So when you talk about free speech on YouTube, you kind of sound like fucking idiots.
Here, have some rope, I'll let you hang yourself, etc.
Let me put this in perspective for you. Highlighted at the bottom, it says YouTube is a Google company. What do you think of when you think of company? You might think of buildings, like this one. Now, if you walk in someone's building and you start preaching to everyone about how you think Hitler was right and suggest that Jews are a curse to Earth,
how could you not expect to get thrown out of that building? You can walk around the public streets, that's paid for through the US government thanks to taxpayers. Congratulations, you're protected by the Constitution. But remember, YouTube is a fucking business. And if the people who work for YouTube do not want the site to be used as a means to propel an anti-Semitic message, then that is completely their right. This is not whatsoever an issue of free speech.
I'm so glad you raised that point, Onion, because do you guys remember what I said about the Uhuru movement and the Laratza movement and groups like that? Good, because this video really isn't about Evalion. I'm sure most of you are familiar with someone called Gazi Kodzo. You may know him as Black Hitler. And golly gee willikers, look what I found on Black Hitler's YouTube channel. A video literally called I'm Anti-Semitic. Here are a few of the gems I found just skimming through it.
A lot of the scientists who were in Africa, a lot of the German scientists that were in Africa testing these things on African bodies were Jewish people. Jewish people. Okay, so this is what I tweeted. I said, what white, aka fake Jews don't want you to know is that the first German Holocaust was black and white Jews helped. Don't call Israel your fucking homeland when you need motherfucking prescription sunscreen to be there, bitch. How you need prescription sunscreen to be in your own land? Crying again for motherfucking white Jews. And say, oh my God, but how horrible is it that Gazi called them fake? But you out here talking about equality, reform, we have to respect all motherfucking lives. Bitch, one thing I do know is to get free, a lot of niggas don't have to die. A lot of niggas like y'all are gonna stand to defend white power, the same way you fucking defending a colonizer. All Israel is a white nationalist satellite in the Middle East to secure oil and resources from those indigenous people. They are currently killing the original black Jews. They weren't just born motherfucking Jewish. They were taught how to be Jewish, and they were taught how to be Jewish from fucking African people, boo. So how can I be anti-Semitic when I birthed you hoes? The original motherfucking Jews looked like me, bitch.
Seen enough yet?
Jew, I am your father.
Jew, I am your father.
How can you be real when you are killing the original? How can you be real when you're killing the original? How can you be real when you're not respecting the original?
But Gazi isn't just openly anti-Semitic, he openly calls for the death of white people in general as well. In fact, he has a video called Rest in Peace, Vester Flanagan. Vester Flanagan, for those who don't remember, is that black guy who shot white news reporters on live television.
Better expense, we're saying tourism.
Rest in peace, brother. That's the brother that went on live television and killed 2 white people, shot up 3. I just want to say rest in peace. And this is not saying I condone his actions or whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you don't.
White people are very afraid of that. White people are very uncomfortable about that, and they don't want that to happen, right? Well, I'm sorry, white people, but black people have been uncomfortable in this country for 500, 600 years. So now it's time for you to start feeling a little uncomfortable too. So rest in peace to Vester Flanagan. Okay? Okay. And a lot of people out here are like, oh, well, Vester Flanagan and Dylan Roof are the same. They're the same. They're like the same thing. Just race fighting, race killing, da-da-da. Those 2 people are not the same. One is a victim. The other is just a raging, evil cave beast
monster.
So this could drag on, and I could dig and dig for a million more examples of this from Gazi's channel or similar channels like Sensei Seren. But it should be pretty self-evident that Gazi is in fact promoting hate speech, if you accept that hate speech is a real thing, that is. We can see from the like to dislike ratio on a bunch of Gazi's videos that he's not always the most popular fellow. Some people have raised it to me that if his channel is still up, maybe that just means that people aren't reporting him, but it's hard to believe that none of these thousands of people who have disliked his videos bothered to report him. So this is really the point that I'm making. If YouTube is interested in enforcing their policy in an equitable manner, and presuming, in my opinion fairly, that someone like Gazi or Sensei Seren has been reported by their detractors for hate speech, then Gazi should have his channel deleted just like Evalion did. This is not about defending Evalion's ideas or tearing down Gazi's ideas. This is about defending the right of both of their ideas to exist, where they can be dismantled on their own lack of merit. But since YouTube's policy and moderation system is obviously not conducive to this, it looks like we're just going to have to put it to the test. And that's not an endorsement of anything you might do after watching this video. If it were up to me, nobody's stuff would get deleted, everyone's ideas would be able to stand on their own merit or lack thereof, and that would be that. I mean, for all anyone knows, Gazi or Evalion could both just be trolls. It's beside the point. And yes, Onion is right that YouTube can do whatever it wants. But there is such a thing as being a good corporate citizen and doing right by your users. And if you're going to have a rule that's stated as a universal and then not enforce it universally, well, it just doesn't reflect well on you. It looks inconsistent. This is no different from Facebook hiding behind its terms of service policies when we have good reason to believe that they're not being consistent. And you know what? Speaking of Facebook, I just couldn't resist. Here are some clips from a video I found on Gazi Kodzo's Facebook page.
Can you tell me some of your favorite, what do you call, march chants back in the day?
Revolution has come. Time to pick up the gun off the pigs.
I like that one. Yeah. Can you think of another one?
Piggy wiggy, you gotta go no. Oink, bang bang, dead pig.
Y'all was serious back in the day.
They were serious. They were serious. That's during the time of the Panthers.
So let's just recap. It's okay to hate Jews, promote killing people of a particular race, and promote violent revolution on both Facebook and YouTube, as long as you're not white. So to sum up my point nice and simple, if you're going to have an anti-hate speech policy, but only delete some hate speech from some people, then what meaning could the policy possibly be said to have? What meaning does the term hate speech even have if it's totally subjective and can be redefined anytime you like? I'm no legal scholar, but I think it's high time that some kind of legal change is brought about for social media networks, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, any of these services. Perhaps they should be seen as places of public accommodation as per the Civil Rights Act. I don't know. But when this small handful of large companies controls virtually all of the publicly visible online communications and social networking, and is enforcing their supposedly universal policies in such an inequitable fashion, something needs to change. Because if you can manipulate what kind of information, what kind of ideas people are exposed to, you can manipulate the social discourse of society at large and the world at large. And if Facebook's response to the accusations that I covered in another of my previous videos is any indication, this is going to be a serious fucking problem. P.S. I already thought Onision was a huge cunt before any of this happened, and I hope he gets hit by a bus.